Welcome back. We are in the classroom here in our neighborhood, and we are just about to go pick up our key, which is your primary interface for interacting with the game. In a way, I think that's a very bad design, because you start out the game without any real method of doing anything. Because all we have right now is this little chat icon down here, as well as just, settings and stuff, which allows you to chat to other people in the same age. And I think it also posted in the neighborhood chat, but I'm not entirely sure of that. But that's basically all you can do with it. And any of the more advanced stuff, you're gonna need your key. And we don't really need to chat because we are talking on Skype.
Yes, this was Sven's brilliant idea when we first played the game to connect on Skype and so we could talk to each other, which we absolutely desperately needed.
Yes.
The number of times we, one or the other, and it's usually me, fallen down a cleft or something.
Yes, if you're playing the game with a friend, I do recommend trying to hook up on Skype or some other voice chat thing, because the game does have voice chat, but it only works if you're in the same age. So if one of you, if the game crashes or somebody gets left behind somewhere, it's very easy if you can still talk to each other. Especially if the game crashes, because you can, once you have a key, you can actually chat to each other regardless of where you are. But if the game crashes, obviously that doesn't work.
And the other thing is that even though I'm playing on a Mac, and you can play on a Macs, but even though you can hear people talking on the chat, the voice chat, you can't do it yourself. So we wouldn't have been able to chat on voice chat even, if that was the only way. This has just been perfect. It's been really useful.
And it's also the only way we can talk to each other, because I am in Japan, as some of you may know, and Nora is actually in the UK.
Yes, I'm in London.
And let's take a look around here, actually, because this link room is actually a little bit different from what we had in the offline version in Complete Chronicles. For one thing, there is a Borrow Stone here, and if you look at that, it leads, well, it's hard to see, but it does actually lead to Agura. Don't use this Borrow Stone. This is one of the most confusing aspects of the game. It's actually related to something called instancing, because obviously it would be really problematic if everybody was sharing the same ages, because that would mean that now if we went to like Teledon or something, all of the puzzles would already be solved by people who came before us. So everybody gets their own instance of the ages. And if you want to have more people in the same age, then you have to explicitly share a book or use the key to invite somebody to go to your instance of the age. The only exceptions to this are the neighborhood and Agura. So Agura is public, which means that everybody who goes there can see each other. And the neighborhood is, well, it's a neighborhood instance, which means that everybody who is a member of the same neighborhood goes there. But there are a couple of places outside of the neighborhood that are also neighborhood instances, which means that you can only go there with someone if you're in the same neighborhood. This goes for most of the other city locations reachable by Borrow Stone, like the Baron Office, the Great Zero, things like that. But it also applies to Agura if you use this Borrow Stone. There are actually two instances of Agura. There's the neighborhood instance, which you can only share with people who are in the same neighborhood, and the public one. If you use this one, you end up in the neighborhood instance, and usually there'll be nobody there. So if you're new to the game, you come here, you use the Borrow Stone, you get the impression that nobody else is playing the game, which might turn you off.
But in fact, there is a time that you actually have to use this stone, because there's something that you need to get, which only appears in the neighborhood instance. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
So you have to.
there are actually a few things that show up only in the neighborhood instance of Agura. Other than that, you might want to use it for, I don't know, marker runs or something. If you don't know what marker runs are, we'll come to that eventually. If you don't want to get bothered by other people. Although
But we will come and use this stone sometime in the future.
But if you are starting this game for the first time and you want to meet other people, don't use that stone. You won't meet anyone.
Yep.
The proper way to go to Agura is via the Nexus, and there is actually a Nexus book here, but because we don't have a key yet, we can't use it. Well, we can use the book, but then you're in the Nexus and you can't do anything there except use your Relta book, link back out. There are a couple of other linking books here, and this is the one we want, which goes to Gorisin. And if you have played Uru before, you might realize that from this glass inlet window. There's two other linking books. This one goes to a Garden Age, which we will visit later. We've actually already been there to pick up the bench, which we used in the video.
Yeah, it's our prop.
It's our little prop, yeah. And this one goes to the Grade Zero Antchamber, in case you want to start doing marker runs and calibrate your key after you've gotten it. We won't be doing that though. We will, however, be picking up our key in Gorisin. And again, we have to deal with this fact of the different instances of Aegis. You have your own private instance of Gorisin, where you can solve all the puzzles and do whatever you want. But this book takes you to a neighborhood instance of Gorisin, not to the to your private one. And you actually cannot solve all the puzzles in this particular instance. This whole instancing thing, it's well, I can see why they did it from a gameplay point of view, but it is sort of hard to explain how that fits in with the rest of the Myst backstory. Unless you've got a good explanation for it.
Well, no, I mean, again, when we're recording this, we may and may not run into a lot of people. But when the game first started, there were a lot of people playing, and the places could get pretty packed. I mean, I thought your explanation that the puzzles would all have been solved was a good one.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
why they've done it.
That's why they need to do it. It makes sense from a... Oh, that's... Yeah. Nora showed up a little bit distorted when she linked in. That happens sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense from a gameplay point of view that they would do that, but it does not make sense from an in-cavern point of view, as people like to call it. If you ask people, they'll usually say that either the Baro did it or Yisha did it, which is basically the Myst version of saying a wizard did it. Okay, well, we're not really going to spend any time looking around Gorisin. We'll do that once we actually play the Edge. For now, we're just going to pick up our key, and of course this handy-dandy sign from the DRC points out where to get it. We have to turn right outside the door. And Nora was already going the wrong way, apparently.
I know, yes. You'll see that I'm terrible at getting in the right place. And for some reason,
Also,
it's
you'll
not
see
even
her jump around. I think you're a little bit off to the side. You're stuck.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the doorway.
Okay, now you're moving again. Like I said, it's glitchy. But you'll see her jumping around a little bit. That's basically caused by lag. You'll also see some stutters in the video, also caused by lag. It's not something on my machine. It's not something I can fix, unfortunately. Alright, well, we can't go that way, so we have to go this way. There is, yes, we know, there is a Baro stone here. We'll do that once we actually get... What the hell are you doing? Kicking the
helmet. I wasn't doing that deliberately, I just ran straight into it.
Okay, well, there is a Baro stone there, but again, we'll do all of that stuff once we actually play Gorisin, not now. You can see the maintainer markers, which is nice. Of course, this was the age of the Guild of the Maintainers.
I think if any of you have not read the novels, the final one really gives you a feel for an appreciation of what the Maintainers actually did.
I'm sure. Are you sure it's the final one and not the Book of of Tiana?
No, it's the final one. It's when Atris and Catherine and the young people are exploring all the ages, and they discover the maintainer suits, and they put them in the maintainer suits to go through. Don't you remember that? They're looking.
It's been a long time since I read that, so you may just be right. Okay.
He's so skeptical of me ever being right at anything.
No. That's not what I meant. Nice thing is you can see her getting the key as well. You can see that Nora has the key on her hand now. And could you just open your key? Open the main window. Step back a little bit, I think, first. Then open your key. Because you can actually see when people are using their key. See? They're playing with their key if they're doing that. Because what she's doing right now is looking at the key, not just this small window, which you also get in the Incomplete Chronicles, but actually looking at the big window, the main key interface. But we'll have to show you that in the next video.